Chris had done all the work gathering the information, or we did all the work gathering the information and gave it to Chris. Chris put it in the right format. We then had to do an online form.
You had to do an online form.
And I'm guessing ours was a little bit different to most people, and you might not know this story yet. So there's an online form you then have to complete for the embassy.
Where you've been,
what you've done, and it's basically just the things that you've already given to
what school you went to.
So you've given in a pack to them, and you can edit this as you wish. But you basically then get an appointment date once you've done this online form. They send you a date for your appointment, and that's your date, and you have to turn up on that date. So we then fly back to England the day before. We stay at a hotel next to the embassy. We turn up at the embassy at 8 in the morning, because you're going to be all day. We get there at 8 and we were ushered through at 9, thinking this is great. And they went, we've lost all your online forms.
They lost everything.
You need to go off, do it all again and come back another day. And I went, we've just flown in from the States. What do you mean come back another day? We're flying back tomorrow. We want our visa. They said, well look, as a favour, because this is obviously our fault somehow, this form's gone missing online. If you go back around the corner to your hotel, fill out the form again. This form takes 2 hours to fill out, as you know, each person. We'll do it now. So we left the embassy at 9:10, went back round to the hotel, filled the form out for about an hour and a half each, hit enter, hoped to go that it had gone what it was meant to go this time, and went back to the embassy. So he runs through a pile of questions that he obviously already knows the answer to because you've given him all the answers, and you basically have to answer with exactly what you've written beforehand. So he will ask you, what's the business you own, how many people work there, and you've already answered all of this on all the forms you've sent them beforehand. So you really are just reiterating.
But when you're going for a joint visa, he asked Rob, then he asked me the identical questions. Yeah. So you have to make sure that it is a real,
So at those interviews, my advice would be is less is more.
Yeah, don't elaborate.
Say yes or no, and don't say anything else. To the point where we had a bit of an incident
with me,
where the chat was going to Jill and she was going backwards, and she just wouldn't answer until I nudged her and she went yes. But he was just trying to get to say something else, and she just kept going, I'm not saying anything else. That's good. Your advice. Yeah. So she stood there going.
Yeah, I just answered yes or no, and he wanted to know in more detail about everything.
And she was having none of it.
And I was just like.
But actually, the process was actually fairly painless. So.